Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. What a way to start the week with some good positive news about the outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle. We're proud to bring it to you. Appreciate the sponsors and appreciate your viewership. Our weather brought to us by Haney Tactical Center is going to be a high of 88, a low of 76, and the water temperature plunged again down to 86. So it's looks good. Got about a 30% chance of rain. The rivers are pretty steady today. We won't show you the river reading, but we will go into the moon phases. Monday moon phase, August, the first day of August. Can you believe this? The new moon is actually tomorrow, August the 2nd, and the full moon is going to be the 18th of the month, right there in the middle of the month. So go ahead and plan around some fishing on, with the moon phases and all. It has all these little things add up, and if you get all that stuff just right, you get a perfect day for fishing, which is about any time you go. Okay, but the new moon and all is going to be dark. It'll be good floundering this week. If you can get out there at night, it'll be some really good floundering. Again, I don't have it with me. I'll read you an email I got the other day about another folks are just not doing really good on floundering right now. They're getting a few, but not like they used to, they said. So we'll talk more about that. Okay, take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Back to some good tides. Last week we had a lot of neap tides. This week a lot of good tides. So we're looking at a high tide at 9:33 this morning and a low tide tonight at 8:03. The marine forecast be south-southwest at about 9. So good situation there. Like I say, watch out for these afternoon thunderstorms. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's get started. We got all kinds of stuff. The 1st of August, let's go about our August calendar. I'm looking around and seeing all the announcements. You know, you think August, and to me, has always historically just been a weird month as far as not getting a lot of stuff done. I've always dreaded August, but I'll tell you what, it goes back to my roots over there in Quincy High School. We always started football practice on August the 15th, and that was just like a doomsday to us because we about got killed by the coach in those days. We didn't get in the water. My senior year, they started giving us some water in a little Coca-Cola bottle like that. I don't know how in the world we lived through that heat and all in August, but we did. So anyway, August, but as far as outdoors, it's really hot, and you know what I'm talking about is not getting a lot done. But now, ironically, I have a lot of things going on. So I want to go over this calendar for what's going on. We're going to start this coming weekend, the 13th annual Kingfish Shootout here at Carabel at the Seacourt Marina, folks. This is the 13th year they've done it. We've talked about it before. First place, $5,000. They're going to give away $20,000 to that little community of Carabel. Second is $4,000. Third, 3. You see the list, 3, 2. All the way, they're going to award 10 places, and also have a little Spanish mackerel prize. So we're looking forward to it. And again, I know the other tournaments popping up all over the place, and that's okay. But they've been doing it 13 years, and again, this money goes to leukemia research, and they're serious about it. They fly down from Chicago. You see it year after year, and I'm just so proud of that. So keep that in mind, folks. If you can fish, I will tell you where to go. I will show you exactly with your GPS where we caught that winning king mackerel 3 years ago, won $10,000, and I'll show you where we've placed before. I'll tell you exactly how to fish for it and exactly what we do. Okay, we're not world's greatest fishermen. We get out there, we work at it, and have a good time. So anyway, take advantage of that. It's good. 2-day tournament. The second thing I have on here, we have the Northwest Florida, National Wild Turkey Federation. Okay, Hunting Heritage Banquet is going to be August 19th. First United Methodist Church at 6 o'clock. Ken Paramore, we'll get him back on the show again and talk about it before then. And that's last year's first one of the top news chapters in the nation last year, right here in Panama City. Okay. Third thing to be aware of: the Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association. They're having their big tournament. It's going to be their 20th annual. It's going to be August the 27th, at the end, last weekend of the month, the last Saturday of the month. The Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association. Also, the CCA tournament going on. We got it. We talked about that. It's going on into Labor Day, so you got time running out. You got to catch that, get that big fish before you go in that new truck and all. So we got all those things going on. Plus there's a lot of bass tournaments going on now. So we just don't have time to mention all the bass tournaments. But if you get a chance and want us to send it in to us, we have a special announcement on that. And we try to keep you all informed. Our goal here is to entertain and inform. I think you look at me enough, you get entertained laughing at me. All right, now, also, and I wrote down a couple of other things too last night. One thing I want to correct. On Friday's show, I said I ordered a boat from Key West Marine. I meant to say I ordered a Key West boat from Harts Marine. Okay, you got that, Bubba? I'm gonna talk more about it. It's a boat I've been wanting for a long time, and what has happened, a lot of other people have been wanting it too, obviously, because the factory is like 14 weeks behind in getting that boat out. It's a little 17.5-foot skiff, and it's really it's going to be a very popular boat. I looked at boats hard, and I've had a lot of boats and all. This is what I want. This is what Gail and I can be comfortable in, and this is what we're going to fish with, because I can freshwater fish in it and saltwater fish. So I'm going to take you through the process when I first get the boat and all that. So I know you'll be happy along with me, and I just want to correct that. Okay. Also, see, I used to do 10 things. I made a short list last night. It's not in August now. We really, truly need to do think a little bit about hunting and get a lot of stuff done, so we won't do it all at the last minute. Here's the 6 things we need to do this month of August, okay? First of all, and you can do all this in air conditioning or in your garage and all in the shade. Check real quick. I wrote down, check your clothes, check your boots, hunting clothes and all. Make sure they're, in good shape, and your boots and all. Check those boots, make sure they're comfortable, and if you need a new pair, Gail, I need a new pair. Thermocell, check that thermocell. Make sure you got batteries going for it, because it's going to be needed. So check, that stuff right there. Number 2, check your batteries for your camera, your feeder, and all those batteries and all. Make sure that's done. Number 3, your deer stands. We talk about this a lot. First thing I always check up this time of year, I go look for wasp nest and all. They're always all over the place. And so check it. If you haven't been around this summer, go check it or shake it around, get everything out of there, and sort of just get it cleaned up and get it ready. Now, we can't wait the last minute, September and October, and do this. We'll do a little bit of it now. Also, the shooting lanes, and every year your shooting lanes, those limbs grow together. Make sure you got a good wide berth on your shooting lane. So that's always important. Number 5, I just wrote down miscellaneous. A lot of little things like make sure your knife is sharp. A lot of times we just overlook. Sharpen your knife. Get your binoculars out. Make sure they're clean and everything. You don't want to get out there and they're not working or something. And this is just good stuff to do. Binoculars, your ropes. Make sure you got the right ropes and all. And if you're going to be lifting stuff up to the tree stand, machete. I don't know if y'all still use a machete. I still use a machete. I still like to hack away. And I sharpen it every year. So machete. Also, your little chainsaw. Make sure you got it going if you hadn't used it all summer, because you're going to get ready to cut some limbs and cut some firewood. So that's all. I put that all together, miscellaneous. Number 6, I wrote down, take care of your paperwork. Go ahead and get your license now, get your permits, get all that stuff done in August, so you don't have to worry about it. Again, all these things just about you can do in your living room there and get it out of the way. So these are the things that what an outdoorsman will do here in the Florida Panhandle as far as hunting. But I know a lot of y'all are still in the fishing mode, but hunting is right around the corner. All right, so let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Now, another thing I want to announce on the 1st of August, we're going to get back to POUR, Panhandle Outdoors on the Road, for the month of August. Last month, we went up there to Walton County, to Funiac Springs, just had a wonderful time. In July. So in August, we want to go ahead and I'm not going to really dictate the place we're going to be. Why don't some of y'all just email me or call me and say, hey, Coach, why don't you come over here or come up here or whatever, and we'll do it sometime around the middle of the month, okay? So just let me know where you would like to get up there. I've got some new decals coming in. You're going to love those. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures here. This one right here, how about a shark at the stump hole? That's a classic picture at the stump hole right there on Cape San Blas. A lot of shark fishing down in that area. I'm going to show you 2 pictures. This one right here, this old Rusty Russell, a good friend of mine. I actually coached a boy back in the 70s, but this is, they're catching, let's read this. 2 sails, a tarpon a day. He got off, he's a good fisherman. He's out there all the time. He broke one off, released one, had a second hookup, I broke it off. They catching tarpon off of the pier. A lot of a video of a sail being caught off the pier. 60-pound kings moving in. I got a nice Spanish. One man lost a 25-pound king at the piling. So you can see a lot of things going on this past couple of days over at the Panama City Beach Pier and also at the county pier. So it's good to have that. Now, let's go ahead and get set up for the next video. We're going to try to get some more of these videos this week, and this one is on the and the ones last week, we got some fascinating guests that we interviewed. They really inventive, creative, hardworking. Just the American entrepreneurship that we so so much of our success of our country has been based on this kind of stuff. So even on the little things like in the fishing market. So this one is that square hook I was telling you about. But I found out they don't like to call it a square hook. They call it the trapper. They trap the hooks. But it's a story here of how the guy that invented it, what made him think about inventing it. And it's really a good story, and it's amazing. And as an outdoorsman, you'll look back and, things happen to you in outdoors and say, doggone it, I wish this wouldn't happen. So here, how could I fix it? And our minds start, wheels start rolling and all. So this is sort of one of those stories. So let's, little 7-minute interview. So let's sit back and, Jeff, let's roll this one. Okay, folks, I promise you one of the booths I was going by was these guys with the square hooks, okay? So here's Vince Hurtado, bass master fisherman, and you've got a great background in bass fishing. First of all, you corrected me, it's not a square hook.
It is not a hook.
Okay.
A hook has a traditional round bend.
Okay.
This is a hook. What we are saying is this is a trap.
Okay.
All right.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved in this.
Well, my background is I'm a former Elite Series professional back in 2006, first the Bassmaster Elite Series. I live out in California. We've got some great bass waters out there, as well as crappie, bluegill, a lot of panfish. And I was approached about a year and a half ago with a product that was developed actually 6 years ago. And this was a kind of a rough foundation of what we have today, 6 years ago, and now after a year and a half of over 400 documented fish catches on our GoPro, we have our final product, which is our trapper.
All right, so you did a lot of R&D. I mean, when they first sent this to you, what did you think? When you got this in the mail, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, what in the world is this square box doing on a hook? but after really paying close attention, I realized a lot of things. And in order to realize that, I had to start with our original J hook.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to start here. So your traditional round bend hook is a J style, whether it's wide gap or not. And what happens is that as it goes through the fish's mouth, we have this round bend, so it canters back and forth. Okay, so by cantering back and forth, you actually create a bigger hole, right? And some of the other manufacturers here, they actually have a cutting edge. Okay, they like to promote a cutting edge. Well, if you have a cutting edge and it goes through, it's like a scalpel. So when y'all ladies get your ears pierced, you use a needle because the hole becomes round, not a little scalpel that will pierce your ear and leave a slice, because a slice will end up ripping. So we use basically a piercing point and not a cutting edge. Okay, so now we have the point taken care of, and now we're going to go right into the trapper box here on this, what we would say is a hook right there. There's the trapper box. So with the trapper, when the fish bites, it goes into the fish's mouth. And once it goes into the fish's mouth, this back 90 right here does not allow it to rotate forward or rotate backwards or rotate side to side. And thus it actually keeps the fish locked.
Okay, cool.
All right. So it's kind of hard to see past the box, but don't even look at the box, because there's your original hook. But more importantly, because this holds fish on longer, it also holds your bait on longer. So your bait will actually sit into the trapper box itself. So no more of making those extra casts, and then all of a sudden you bring it in and you're like, gosh, you got to kind of bring it back, you make another cast. Gosh, this actually sits right into the channel. And by sitting into the channel, the fish bites it, exposes our piercing point, you set the hook.
They get more casting.
More casts, higher percentage of catching fish, more time fishing. We can't all be Kevin Van Dam making 50,000 casts, but now we can get close, right?
Hey, that is great.
So this was our award-winning Best in Show drop shot hook, and unlike some manufacturers, what we've done is every bend within the hook has a purpose. So if we look at the line tie as opposed to the hook point, there's your true bite. Some other hooks you might find that they're equal. So what happens is when you put a bait on the hook, it becomes a hook protector. So all we want to do is encourage you to put your bait in,
There you go.
and just set the hook.
All right.
And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
That's a great idea, and you caught a lot of fish already, haven't you?
I have. We've got myself. I've got about over 400 documented on film, just in research and development. But we've come a long ways. They're actually going to be shipping at the end of the year, and be available January. And actually, if you go on to trappertackle.com, you can register there. We're actually sending out free hooks.
Oh, great. All right. So you hear that? Well, congratulations on Best of Show, and this is a great idea.
Thank you, Winston.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Davidson. Hey, Larry.
How are you?
Okay. This is the brains behind this trapper hook. Now, what made this start rolling in your brain? You were a fisherman, obviously.
Yes, I've been at it for a lot of years, probably over 40 years. Fish tournaments, many years, out of the Northeast, and actually. I started way back in 1975. I designed a fishing tournament trail, ran it for 18 years, so I've been at it for a long time. And I wish way back then I had thought of this idea, because it could have paid off big time back then for the tournaments, but unfortunately that's not what happened. I was actually out pleasure fishing one day, up near the shoreline. I had a fallen tree in the water, good clear water. I saw a bass come up from underneath that tree. I was using a man's jelly worm, and I threw it in. I watched the fish come out from under the log. It engulfed that whole lure. I come up on that fish, and you would think coming up, instead of at an angle, you'd have that fish in the boat. I lost him immediately. And for the rest of the day, I contemplated that, and it was circling around in the head, and then lo and behold, I started thinking, if I could have kept that point of the hook exposed to the fish, instead of embedded in what they call Texas rigging, I would have had a much better chance of catching that fish. So I realized also at the same time that if you did that, there'd be nothing to hold it where the point was, or where the body of the hook was. It would float up and down wherever it wanted to go, and you'd be coming through the water kind of squirrely. And so I thought, geez, I need to figure out how to lock that lure in there. And the more I thought about it, I thought, geez, if I can lock the lure in there, I'm going to lock the fish in there. And so finally, I got some old style hooks, and I sent them with my son to have the hardness taken out of them. He got that taken care of. I at home with my pliers whittling away at these things, and bent the hooks up, brought them back over. We re-hardened the hooks and went them out. And unfortunately, I can't say that I'm the guy that caught the first fish. I wish I was able to say that, but I'm not. It was my buddy Alan that was with me. He caught the first fish. I grabbed the fish as he got to the boat, and I looked in the mouth of the fish, and I just was like, oh my God, everything I thought happened right in front of me. That was totally amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome story.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Good story. Okay, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Why didn't you think of that? Why didn't I think of that? But it's going to be fascinating to see how it goes. It's an interesting concept, and got good thinking there on the theory, okay? Let's take a look at our Barron's Barbecue Shrimp Marinade, our fish and game time for today. Only one time, and it's going to be right in the middle of the day, 11:46 to 1:46. It's going to flat out be warm, I'm afraid, but that's when it's going to move around. Like I say, sometimes in the middle of the day, I've told over and over again, my son Chip caught the biggest trout he ever caught was right in the smack dab middle of the day in August. So there you go. Now, I want to mention also, let's see, fish mounts. I want to show you what I forgot to mention, though, about August, something else going on in August. 3 weeks from today, scallop season opens up. So be aware of that. Make sure that's on your calendar. I wanted to show you this fish mount right here, okay? Now, there's a story behind it, and I'm going to hold it up here next to me. So this is huge, okay? This is huge. In fact, I'm going to hold this is an iPad I use. This is an iPad next to it. I mean, it's bigger than, and this is a local. This comes out of Weewall. Terry Linton brought this to me a good while back. I've had to glue it back. It's an old mount. I've had to glue it back to the pectoral, dorsal, or the pectoral fins. I had to glue them back over here and put some Gorilla Glue on it. But I'm going to hold it up here against me so you can see how big it is, okay? It was caught on the back. It was caught by Al Harrison, the late Al Harrison. down at Ammonia Lake. Remember, he was a sheriff there in Gulf County. He was fly fishing in 1982. He's got the weight on it, 4 1/4 pounds. This would have been a world record, I think. This is huge. Terry brought it to him. Terry Linton watches the show. A lot of y'all know Terry Linton, but it was mounted by Mr. Self. It's right here, mounted by J.M. Self, taxidermist from Panama City. Mr. Self has mounted many, one of the original taxidermists right here. This is a special fish to me because I appreciate Terry just wanted me to have it for the set and all, and knows I like all kind of stuff like that. So appreciate it, Terry. You know anything else about his story? And if y'all remember Al Harrison, remember this, if y'all anybody that fished with him around those times, and I'd like to get a whole story on that. I might even like to write a story about it because to have a fish like that and you know, mounting fish are just something special. And back in those days, Mr. Self and those old guys, they were just they fascinated me as how they could do that, and they spent so much time. But again, I want to hold up. This is just I've had it on my workbench. I hesitated on bringing it up here. I may take it back home and hang it. I just like to look at this thing. But this kind of fish here, Ammonia Lake, the Florida Panhandle, Weewall, Apalachicola River system, the whole area, and fly fishing. Can you imagine catching that? That's just awesome. So thank you, Terry Linton. And if y'all, I know Terry watches the show. If y'all tell Terry to give me a call, or Terry, give me a call again. Let's talk about it. I'd like to get more information on it. Okay. Now I was going to, and talking about mounting fish. People want to know the size of this flounder back here behind me. That was about 29 to 30 inches. I measured it during the break so I could tell you. I'd forgotten how big it was. 29 to 30 inches, and that came from a mold. And the one back here, this is Mr. Mac Finch, and he actually did those himself. And they caught those together. And that's a beautiful mount. That's why it's hanging there. Mr. Finch from there in the cove, and I think I told you about getting a lot of his old fishing tackle, and he was handmade stuff and did stuff like that. So mounting fish or mounting your game, it preserves the memories and all. Like I say, they do a lot of molds now, but on brim and all, they do, you know, especially like a kid's catching the first fish or, you know, the first turkey and that kind of stuff. If you can mount those, and what great memories you have. So, if, you know, just even on stuff like that. So make sure you do those kind of things. We want to start wrapping things up. Thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. Always do something good for your fellow man. Do something today for him. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.